Okay, so for real, do you love cruise food as much as I do? Let me be real with you. There's just something magical about eating in the main dining room and trying out all the new exotic flavors that I normally wouldn't eat back home. I mean, I'm telling you, it really makes my little chef heart happy. So what about you? Now, in this video, I'm giving you all the cruise food info, especially for the main dining room, what to expect, FAQs, and the juicy tips and tricks to make your dining experience unforgettable. I'm talking about secret hacks and insider knowledge that'll have you savoring every single bite like a pro. So get ready to be blown away with my main dining room expertise. So let's get the ball rolling with some Cruise 101 basics that you gotta know, especially for a first timer. First and foremost, listen up. The main dining room is always free. Yeah. It's always included in your cruise package, along with the buffets and the casual eats. Of course, there are the specialty restaurants that'll cost you some extra money, but who needs them when you can feast like a king or queen in the main dining room every night, am I right? Why pay money you don't need to get good food? Okay, listen up. If you've got any food allergies or restrictions, no worries. Cruise ships have got your back and they're absolutely fabulous at accommodating your needs safely. But here's the thing, you gotta make sure you let them know in advance. When you book your cruise through the cruise line or your travel advisor, be sure to mention any food-related issues so they can make a note of it on the booking. That way, you'll have peace of mind and you can chow down without any worries or hiccups. When you finally step foot on the cruise ship, here's what you gotta do. Head over to the maitre d's desk in the main dining room, but don't do it when it's time to eat. That's rude. Go as soon as you board up until late afternoon. That's when you'll have a quick little meeting with the maitre d' about your food restrictions. Make sure you go over everything again, and if you're dealing with a serious allergy, they might even give you a special menu or have a little chat with you about the different food options that can be available. That way, they can prep in advance and you can sit back and relax and enjoy your meal without a care in the world. So let's talk table talk. You might have heard that on a cruise, you're going to be stuck at a table with random people. But guess what? Not anymore. Most cruise lines offer options now, so if you're all about that traditional dining and mingling with strangers, go for it. We've done it before and actually made some dope friends that we still keep in touch with. But if you want to fly solo and feast on your own, no worries. You do you, boo. Here's the deal. You don't have to be stuck with early bird or night owl dining times either on a cruise anymore. Most cruise lines now offer open dining, sometimes called different things depending on the cruise line. You can reserve in advance or just show up and wait in line like you would at a restaurant back home. You might have to chill for a few minutes, but hey, it's all part of the experience, right? Let's dive into the tips. And we'll even throw in some etiquette too because we're classy like that. Tip number 1, don't be fashionably late to your reserved traditional dining time. You can't show up at 6:30 for a 5:30 seating. It's not open dining, remember? And the cruise line has to start and end the seating at specific times to keep the flow. Plus, you don't want to make any of your dining companions wait for you if you're sitting at a table with others. So if your dinner is at 6 o'clock, you better show up on time or we're gonna have to talk about your punctuality. Okay, here's tip number 2 for you. If you do end up sharing a table with strangers, whether it's traditional dining or open seating, there are certain topics you should just avoid. And by that, I mean political and religious discussions. This is something I learned in culinary school where we even extended it further to not talk about music or sports. Because let's be real, it's never a good idea to bring these things up, but especially not when you're sharing a table with people you don't know. Just know that everyone does not agree with you and is entitled to their own opinion. So let's just stick to lighter topics and enjoy the good company and delicious food. Let's dive into tip number 3, shall we? Now, some people say that dining in the main dining room can be a bit of a time suck, especially if the wait staff is slow. And you might feel like you're stuck there for an hour or more. You can always let the wait staff know that you have a show to catch or something happening at a certain time, like an activity or something, and they'll be happy to speed things up for you. Simply order your dessert and coffee when you order your main dish, or ask them to bring it out as soon as you're done eating. Or if you're really in a rush, you could even skip dessert altogether, catch your show or whatever, and then grab a sweet treat later at one of the ship's cafes or at the buffet. No need to sacrifice entertainment for a leisure dinner. All right, number 4. Here's a little secret about the main dining room menu. There's always something that will tickle your taste buds. Every night, there's a new menu with different dishes. So you'll get to try something new every day. But There are a few items that stay on the menu every single night, and that is generally called the classics or something like that. It varies from line to line. Now, what I like to do is not order from that part of the menu, even though there's a salmon dish and that roasted chicken that always hits the spot. We like to save that for a night when nothing else catches our eye on the change of menu. All right, let's talk about something fun. Actually ordering the food. This is one of our favorite parts of cruising, and I'm sure it is for a lot of others too. You can try different types of foods that you may not have tried at home, and you can order as many dishes as you like. Now, here are a few tips and tricks you can use to make the most of your dining. If you really like something, really like it, like shrimp cocktail, for example, you can order a double portion and they'll give you more. And don't be afraid to order more than one appetizer or even share with your friends and family. You can put them in the middle of the table and kind of have a family style feast going on. Oh, and here's a little hack. Sometimes I order a small portion of a main dish as an appetizer. That way I get to try a little bit of everything without getting too full. So don't be shy and order more. Another little tip for you, if you want to try some of the best dishes on the cruise, look out for the formal night or chic night or elegant night, whatever they call it. Some different cruise lines, like I said, call it different names. These are the nights when you'll often find the bougiest of bougie menus, like the shrimp or the lobster or the prime rib. So instead of booking a specialty restaurant on those nights, we actually prefer to dine in the main dining room. And you know what's even better? Sometimes there's both lobster and prime rib on the menu, and we can't decide which one to order, so you order both and make your own kind of surf and turf combo. Some cruise lines are happy to accommodate such requests. And if not, you can still enjoy both meals by sharing them with your dining partners. Just be mindful and be sure you don't waste the delicious food. Let's talk about the dress code, shall we? While it's true that cruises have become more and more casual lately, the dress codes are not as strictly enforced as they used to be. You should still be careful not to break them. After all, you never know when they might decide to turn you away for not following the rules, especially if you're wearing shorts when you're supposed to be wearing pants. But if you're not worried about getting turned away, I think it's nice to dress up just a little for the main dining room. It's a beautiful and elegant setting, and it shows respect to other people dining there. So my advice is to try to follow the dress code at least in principle, even if you don't go all out. See our video up here about 10 things you should not wear on a cruise to get more information about what is allowed in the main dining room. So listen up. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that you can actually bring your own wine into a restaurant on the cruise ship? If you've got a bottle of wine chilling in your cabin, you can bring it with you to the main dining room and enjoy it with your meal. And get this, if you don't finish the bottle, you can leave it with the staff and they'll keep it stored for you with your cabin number on it. So even if you switch up the restaurants and the next night, they'll still be able to find it just for you. Just watch out for that corkage fee though, if you bring your own bottle from home. It varies from cruise line to cruise line, but it's generally around $15 for them to open the bottle for you. So what do you do if you're stuck at a table with people you just don't click with? This is a total possibility if you do traditional dining and sit with other people. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't sweat it. Just talk to the maitre d' after dinner and let them know it wasn't your vibe. They'll find you a new spot for the next night. No problemo. It's totally normal to switch it up and find the perfect match at dinner time. So you don't have to feel weird about asking for a different table. Here's another tip. If you've got a dinner reservation or you're sitting with the same folks at traditional dining and you can't make it, don't leave them hanging. Give your table mates and your waitstaff a heads up the night before or earlier in the day. So maybe you've got reservations at a specialty dining restaurant or going to a show or activity. If you need to cancel your reservation, just call from your cabin phone and let them know. This way, they can give your table to other hungry cruisers who are waiting to eat and the waitstaff aren't waiting. Okay, so here's a tip that some folks forget, but it's so important. You gotta be polite to all the peeps who are serving you. Your waiters, assistant waiters, the fancy maitre d', and the sommelier. That's the wine expert on board that will bring you your bottle of wine if you order wine. They are working so hard to make your vacation amazing, so show them some love. Even if you need something, use those manners and be kind. And at the end of your trip, don't forget to say thank you. You might already be paying your tips or gratuities in advance, but a little note or extra cash is always appreciated. Not required, but it is a nice gesture. And when they ask you to fill out that survey, take a second and actually show them some love. it makes their day. Share your amazing cruise tips and tricks, or tell us about your dining room experiences. I'm dying to know. Drop a comment down below this video and let's chat. If you liked today's video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Like, what are you waiting on? And don't forget to hit that bell down there so you don't miss any videos from us. We'll see you around the ship, but for now, bye-bye.